Hey guys, what's up? It is Corbin Stuckey of Pixel Talk here, and I'm going to be reviewing The Conjuring today. Considering that The Conjuring 2 is coming out this Friday, I really wanted to talk about The Conjuring. It's one of my favorite horror movies, and you guys should definitely check it out. The Conjuring is a horror movie that came out in 2013, and is directed by James Wan, the guy behind Saw or Dead Silence. But this movie takes place in the 70s, which makes it different from the other movies that he's done. I went to see this movie in 2013 with a group of friends. I had actually not seen any trailers whatsoever. That probably helped me out when liking the movie because I didn't really know what to expect, and it was such a huge surprise to me. I went in totally blind, had a really good time with some friends. Actually, it was a very memorable night, really. It was me hanging out with my buds, and we got to see a really awesome horror movie. The movie surrounds a family moving into this property, and they start to realize that something isn't right. There's a lot of strange things happening, a lot of paranormal stuff, and they decide to call upon Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators, to check out their house. This is actually based upon true case files by the Warrens. They are real investigators, and they've handled some pretty serious paranormal investigations. And they're also one of the best parts about this movie. I love this couple in this movie. They have the best chemistry that I've seen, and usually when we're dealing with a horror film, the movie focuses solely on the family that is being affected. And then we have like a cliche priest coming in at the end of the movie to solve the problems. But no, this movie is actually fairly focused on this couple and their abilities to solve these cases. Especially Lorraine Warren. Her character was so interesting in this movie because she's a clairvoyant. She's able to see things that a lot of people can't see, and she's able to reach out into the paranormal world and kind of just pick out these different imagery, and it was really interesting. It was like something out of X-Men where this woman is psychic and she almost has like powers where she can see different things that no one else can see. It was a really interesting take, and especially seeing something like that in a horror movie was really different. Patrick Wilson is Ed in this movie. I like this character a lot, especially with the chemistry with his wife in this movie. He's a demonologist, and he knows all these different facts about demons, and he lectures at these colleges, and he wants to tell people about these cases and, like, you know, keep people informed that there are demons out there. And that's why I feel as though these characters work on the big screen, is because they are based on really cool people. Lorraine Warren actually met up with James Wan on the set of this movie, and she wanted this movie to be made. She wanted people to know about demons and all their different investigations. And she was so for it, and that's probably one of the reasons why this movie was so successful. And this movie isn't a cliche horror film. It's definitely old school, especially when you see the title appear up on the screen. It's got that 70s feel to it. It almost feels like something out of The Exorcism. And one of the things I really appreciate about this movie is there's not like a lot of jump scares. There are jump scares, but the jump scares nowadays that we see in movies are solely based on sound. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just something like, oh, a bird flew by. Oh, it was just a jump scare. It has nothing to do with the plot. But in this movie, when a jump scare happened, there wasn't really any sound or anything that made us jump out of our seats. It was all visual stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I like The Conjuring, because it was taking itself really seriously, and the scares were actual scares. It relied heavily on visual aspects of the movie, and there wasn't loud noises like you see nowadays. This movie also has an awesome exorcism scene at the end, which is really cool because usually nowadays when we have exorcism movies, they're not good. And knowing that this movie wasn't really an exorcism movie, it was just like a paranormal movie, and we had a little exorcism scene at the end of this movie, and it was better than other exorcism movies that we've seen nowadays, says something. The climax of this film is awesome, with that exorcism scene and just all this different stuff happening. Another thing that we got from this movie is the Annabelle doll. My God, what a scary piece of object. Oh my God. You don't really see Annabelle a lot in this movie. She's not the main focus, but when she's in this movie and she's being talked about, it's very cringeworthy. And a lot of people felt uncomfortable when seeing the doll and the different history behind it, which is probably why an Annabelle movie was made a year later. It wasn't really well received as The Conjuring, but if you guys would like me to do a review on that as well, just comment down below and I'll see what I can do. But yes, guys, this movie is a great horror film. It's not really cliche. It borrows a lot of stuff from the 70s, and it's just really well made. James Wan is actually really good at horror films. Very old school, very visually gripping, and it's I would say it's a classic, most definitely. Great performances, great cinematography, very scary imagery. So yes, guys, thank you so much for checking out my review of The Conjuring. Comment down below what you think of this movie if you've seen it yet. Like the video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Also, guys, I did a video with Jason of Doombox. We did a review of Saw. Jason has actually been covering a lot of James Wan's films because The Conjuring 2 is coming out this weekend, so whenever that video is posted, I'll put it in like an annotation or something right here. I'll put it in the description. I'll even post it on Twitter. You guys follow me on Twitter, right? It's just @CorbinStuckey. It's all in the description down below if you'd like to check it out. I will notify you guys, most definitely. It'll be in an annotation or something, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for checking out my video review of The Conjuring. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.